Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. As I make this video, today is Ganesh Chaturthi. May Lord Ganesha fill our lives with joy and happiness and may he remove all the obstacles in our lives. He is the Vignaharta. No prayers should be done before worshipping Ganpati or Ganesha. And the next 10 to 11 days is an extremely important and an auspicious time for any spiritual sadhana, any prayers. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi! Today this is about the month of September and the forecast, the predictions, the effects, the results, the tips for all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. The month of September 2025 marks endings as well as new beginnings because on 7th of September we have the total lunar eclipse followed by a partial solar eclipse on 21st of September. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this monthly update from the ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of September for you all? So firstly, Mars, which is your Lagna Lord, is going to be making a transit in the sign of Libra. There are major energy shifts, major changes happening around mid of September. So Mars is going to be entering your 7th house, where it goes Marankarak, which means it is losing its significance. So for the next 40 to 45 days, what you would feel, what you would do, you will have to be extra cautious, you will have to have extra pair of thinking hat, you will have to be very careful when it comes to making any major decisions because that's your Lagna Lord and the 8th Lord. And when Mars loses significance, you need to consciously look at your levels of energy. So you could feel low in terms of energy. Now for those people who are married or in a relationship, your spouse or partner could go out of the way to help you, to support you. So make sure you reach out to them. Make sure that you're connected. The month of September, especially the second half, there is certainly a relationship karma because when the powerhouse of energy, Mangal, moves into 7th house where it falls, see Mars is a bachelor graha and it does not have the domain knowledge for the matters related to the 7th house. Yes, one domain knowledge that it has is war because 7th house also represents war besides peace. But it has very limited interest in any love interests, any business partnerships, right? So this is where you will have to put in a lot more efforts than usual, which is the second half. Now the first half of September is still quite positive for you to overcome enemies, to overcome opposition of any kind. The other important planet for you is Jupiter. So thankfully your Lagna Lord Mars will be under the auspicious 5th aspect of Jupiter. So this ensures that in spite of you having a weak decision making, your decisions will be driven by knowledge because Jupiter's 5th aspect represents knowledge, those areas where you need to learn. So the month of September for you is full of self-awareness and you have to spend time consciously in terms of becoming more aware of yourself. Transformation can come easy to you. You would probably not be worried about facing any sudden or adverse situation, particularly around this month because Jupiter is going to also regulate its pace. It has been moving extremely fast. Now it will slow down a bit as it prepares to enter Cancer in the month of October. But this is where Jupiter's aspect on your 7th house, 9th house and the 11th house are ensuring that you leverage your knowledge to channelize your desires. Your desires will absolutely be on a higher side because it is activating 3, 7, 11 trine, which is the trine of desires. Saturn continues to go retrograde in your 12th house, which is having a very strong aspect on your 6th house. So Sun and Saturn will be in a mutual opposition. And Sun will also be conjoined Mercury when Mercury later enters the sign of Virgo, which is happening in your 6th house. Mercury will enter its exaltation sign and Sun and Mercury are creating a Buddha-Datti Yoga and they have a very strong aspect of Saturn. So Sun is your 5th Lord and Saturn's aspect will try to suppress, will try to slow down things, with regards to matters related to authority, matters related to some sort of government paperwork, matters related to leadership. And this is where your communication can also experience some sort of coldness. So you have to be careful when it comes to interacting with other people, because from an interaction point of view, Venus will also be under affliction by Ketu in your 5th house. So definitely love, relationship matters will certainly be the center of attention. Though you will consciously focus on your health, your well-being, your vitality, you could have some minor immunity related issues, you can fall sick, but take care of yourself, take care of your gut, your digestive system. A lot is happening in your 5th house and 6th house, fiery energies are there. So make sure that you take care of your digestive system, you eat well, you eat healthy, include a lot of green vegetables in your diet. Continue to strengthen Mars. So do remedies related to Mars in order to make the most of this transit, because see, Mars will also be under the 9th aspect of Rahu. It's been aspected by Jupiter as well as Rahu. So on one hand, there is a positive aspect that is coming which ensures you channelize your knowledge. On the other hand, there is a not so positive aspect of Rahu, which is the 9th aspect of suppression. It indicates knowledge, but all the kinds of wrong knowledge that you were to implement. So this could make you impulsive. This could make you take some sort of shortcuts. So you have to maintain perseverance, you have to maintain patience, because this 3-7-11 axis of Jupiter, Mars and Rahu will certainly create these major shifts. And of course, I would make a standalone video on that, but this is something which we could expect. Continue to increase your spiritual sadhana, continue to strengthen Mars in your chart, use Bija Mantra related to Mars, and may you have a pleasant month of September. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs, at the physical level, you will read this transit from your ascendant in terms of physical results, manifestation, but from a mental point of view to deal with your mindset, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening, first half of the month, your Lagna Lord, Ascendant Lord Venus continues to be in the 3rd house, then it will enter the 4th house. So here Venus gains directional strength while it is still in an inimical sign of Leo, but it will be conjoined with Ketu. So it is going to give you mixed result, because firstly Venus has direction, there are blessings of Goddess Lakshmi, and you must look up to her, you must do a lot of Lakshmi Aradhana, Shakti Aradhana in the month of September, read Shri Suktam on a daily basis from a remedial point of view. But Venus is under the affliction of Ketu. Ketu is like a cut. So there is definitely some sort of quarrel, argument or a disturbed environment that you could expect at your home. In order to bring peace, in order to bring prosperity, from a remedial point of view, I will advise you to keep a white flower plant in your home and try to declutter, clean your house. See, because Venus does well when the surroundings are clean, when you promote cleanliness. And Venus will also be in a mutual aspect with Rahu. So your 4-10 axis is going to be pretty active. Venus desires you to increase your level of interaction to build credible, meaningful, long-lasting relationships at work. So the planet that you have to strengthen in the month of September is without a doubt Venus. You must continue to do mantras related to Venus and anything to strengthen it. Sun and Mercury initially will be in your 4th house. Second half of the month, they will enter the 5th house where Sun makes a transit in Virgo. Mercury also enters its exaltation sign where they are forming a beautiful Buddha Aditya Yoga. Now, Buddha Aditya Yoga would mean that it supports your higher education, it supports creative pursuits, supports anything that you want to learn over the course of next 30 to 40 days. The time period, the energies are quite high. Now, both of them will be aspected by a retrograde Saturn. So when Saturn is retrograde in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces, it has a very strong 7th aspect on both Sun and Mercury. So Sun and Saturn, father and son. Sun is the father, Saturn son. They are in a mutual opposition. This happens once every year. However, depending on the sign, and this is where the role of Mercury and Jupiter will importantly play in your chart. Mercury is the strongest planet in this 3 planetary connection that is happening between Virgo and Pisces. Now, moreover, there will be a lunar eclipse. Certain things related to your safety, security, your home matters, your assets is likely to come to an end, and you could have new work related beginnings, new job, potential new opportunities, additional sources of income, because your 10th and 11th houses will also be involved in the solar eclipse that will happen on 21st of September, though it is partial, but it will likely have an impact on you. Now, this is where you have to understand that for time being, you need to work towards your own welfare, your own well-being. Mars is making a transit in your 6th house. This is happening in second half of September, and it will be aspected by Jupiter and also by Rahu. Jupiter will have a 5th aspect, 5th drishti on Mars, and Rahu will have a 9th aspect or a 9th drishti on Mars, which means that the powerhouse of energy is making a transit in your 6th house of enemies, of competition. It will bring opposition, it will bring an increased enemies, but you have to be 100% focused on your health, your vitality, your immunity. Take care of your digestive system. There's a lot of fiery energies in the 6th house, and this is where Mars is making a transit in the sign of Venus in Libra. So, strengthening Venus will help you a long way, right? Because see, Jupiter's aspect is auspicious, Rahu's aspect is inauspicious. So, it is creating a lot of disturbance in your daily life, daily routine. Though you will have a lot of energy, sometimes overflow of energy in terms of what you do on a day-to-day basis. I would advise that you spend your energy, you invest your energy in exercise, in eating right, and in doing your daily task, your daily work. The planet of the month for you is Mercury, because Mercury is the one who is having the stronger transit in its exaltation sign, and that is happening in your 5th house. So, this could give you a positional rise, a position boost. However, you have to be careful of not getting involved in any corrupt activities, because Mercury brings a lot of impulsion. Okay, it makes someone impulsive. So, you make decisions in a very quick succession. Sometimes, you act in a childlike manner, because Mercury is a childlike planet and it is pretty strong. Saturn's continue to being retrograde in your 11th house. It is looking back at your 10th house. So, it wants you to solve a lot of issues or matters related to career. Both Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury. So, Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, they are giving you Dhan Yoga in the month of September. So, financially, it looks like a prosperous month. It looks like a month of opportunity. But your decision making could be a little bit on a weaker side in the second half of the month, and this is where you have to be absolutely careful. Look up to Venus and look up to Mercury to make the most of the month of September. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this monthly update from the ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So, what is happening here in the month of September? A number of planetary shifts and changes are happening. Firstly, there will be a total lunar eclipse in your 3rd house, which will trigger change. Something is coming to an end for new beginnings. So, what is ending is related to your efforts, journeys, something new that you were to start. Maybe it could have some sort of obstruction, and you would look forward to a renewed change and new beginnings over the course of month of September. Now, for the dual sign Gemini, your fundamentals are pretty strong in the month of September, because number of planets are making a transit in your quadrant house or Kendra house. Jupiter in your Lagna, Mercury and Sun will be in your 4th house, Saturn will be in your 10th house. So, 4 of these planets, and all of these 4 planets are important for you, are making a transit in your quadrant houses. So, your decision making is going to be quite good, quite positive over the course of next few weeks, right? Because even your Lagna Lord, firstly it is in the 3rd house, then it enters the 4th house. Though in 4th house Mercury has a weak position, so does Sun. Sun gains direction in 10th house, 4th house it is losing direction. Mercury is Maran Karak, but Mercury is sitting in its exaltation sign, and Sun and Mercury are forming a Buddhaditya Yoga. So, you will look back at your fundamental knowledge in terms of building a value system within yourself. You would likely make some changes in your house, some sort of construction work, renovation work, or repair work is something that you might do. Or if you have a vehicle, take care of your vehicle, because there could be some issues and you have to keep things at check. This is also considering the fact that second half Venus will be under affliction, who signifies vehicles, and it will be conjoined with Ketu in your third house. So you also have to channelize your desires appropriately. So definitely the planet that you must look forward to is Mercury, and also Jupiter, who gains directional strength in your Lagna. It is regulating its pace, preparing to enter Cancer in your second house. So this is one opportunity window for you which will come between October through January, wherein you can look at losing weight, where you can look at getting back in shape, and of course bringing significant changes in your dietary requirement, and financially it is going to be very prosperous, right? Saturn continues to slow down work a bit, but it is retrograde. It is having a very good aspect on Mercury and in a mutual aspect with Sun and Saturn are in a mutual aspect, they're in opposition. So 10-4 axis is quite active, where Saturn is helping you to reevaluate your dharma, your spiritual consciousness, by looking back at the 9th house, keeping Rahu at check. Jupiter is also keeping Rahu at check. But what is happening, the kind of energies which Jupiter and Rahu are bringing in the month of September, both of them have an aspect on the 5th house, where Mars will be making a transit. So the energy powerhouse is in your 5th house of decision making, your future, your children. Jupiter's aspect is good, which will ensure positive thinking, positive creativity. Rahu's aspect can make you get inclined towards taking shortcuts towards success, quick decision making, lack of rational judgment, all right, being very impulsive of your decisions and what you want to do. So make sure that you avoid any form of corruption, any form of illegitimate or unethical practices. Look up to Jupiter, and of course invest your energy in future planning, future goals, and future decision making. Venus initially will be in the second house, forming a very beautiful Dhan Yoga. Mercury is ensuring that your efforts continue to grow. So the first half is very promising. Most of the decisions should be made there. Second half, Venus will be conjoined with Ketu. It is under affliction, all right, and this is where you have to be careful with regards to your sleep and any decisions pertaining to your relationship. You can also have some unexpected travel, unexpected journey. This could be good, not so good. That will depend on your ongoing dasha, antardasha. But when you're traveling, take care of your belongings, and of course take care of your health and well-being as well, particularly when you are traveling, because things could be little bit sensitive at that point in time. Continue to strengthen Mercury. The ideal remedy for you is to get some plants at your home, either indoors, outdoors, wherever you'd like to keep. But the best part is being one of the dual signs. So all the dual signs will have planets, most of the planets in their Kendra or quadrant houses. So your decision making will be good, you will have confidence, you will have logic, you will have the power of wisdom, the power of labor, and the leadership potential. All of this is represented by Jupiter, Saturn, Sun and Mercury, who are making very good transits in the month of September in your quadrant houses. And you continue to look at all these planets, and at the same time make sure that you make the right kind of decisions. Worship Lord Vishnu, use the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya to improve work related matters and also to improve your relationships. If you were to improve your work related matters, you do this mantra around midday. If you were to improve your relationships, then you do this mantra in the evening. I wish you the very best. Cancer ascendant signs and the Cancer moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from the ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So the month of September, which is a big month of the year 2025, which is bringing in major shifts with the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. The lunar eclipse, which is a total eclipse happening in your second house, where Mercury will be involved, Moon will be involved, Ketu will be involved, your Lagna Lord will be involved. So it is going to impact your decision making, your finances, your family. So something is coming to an end when it comes to financial matters for greater good, for your transformation. Because the new beginnings post 21st of September will focus a lot on your 8th and the 9th house, which is your transformation and at the same time your dharma, your fortune. So your fortune is eventually going to elevate post that. You have to take care of your finances, you have to avoid any impulsive decisions, you have to avoid any major investment decisions or any major changes when it comes to your financial planning. So do a budget exercise. Now second half of the month you are under great protection, because with your Lagna, Jupiter is making a transit in the 12th house, Venus will be making a transit in your second house. So your Lagna is under great protection in the second half of the month, which would ensure that you will feel more positive. First half, the energies are a bit restless, you would lack patience, and you will continue to build a more positive attitude in the second half of the month. And this is where I would encourage you to make the most of the decision making capabilities. Spiritually, it is a good month because Jupiter, who is your 9th lord, continues to make a transit in an atichara motion or a very fast paced motion in your 12th house. Now, gradually mid-September onwards, Jupiter will also regulate its pace and it is time for optimism as it prepares to enter your Lagna. So you do have a huge opportunity window, a very short window that is coming up to probably build your wisdom and to have some financial gains. But Venus is definitely forming a Dhan Yoga along with Ketu, though it is under affliction. But you must look at Ketu. Ketu is your co-fifth lord. Both of them are making a conjunction or a yuti in your second house. That could give huge financial gains as well in some cases, in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. It could happen in the most unexpected manner, either through speculation, either through some business ventures or opportunities, or some stuck payments or probably delayed payments that were there that could come your way. So you must look forward to it. Now the other important transit for you is Mars, definitely, who is the Yoga Karaka planet for you because he's your 5th lord and the 10th lord. And Mars is making a transit in your 4th house in the sign of Libra. This will happen later in September, though initially for the first 12 days it will be in the 3rd house. Continue to give you that valor, that courage to probably deal with any sort of uncertainty and any discomfort. 4th house, Mars is also one of the significator because he represents land, bhumi. So it's a good time to invest in real estate, to build assets, or probably decisions pertaining to your existing asset, existing land, existing vehicles, or anything that you own. Mars will also ensure that it gives you a lot of energy at home. So I would encourage how to channelize this energy is first 30 minutes in the morning you do some sort of physical exercise, yoga, sadhana, meditation at your home. Before stepping out, spend some time at home. This is where the energy should be channelized. Mars will be aspecting your 7th house, 10th house and the 11th house with the 4th, 7th and the 8th special aspect. So your marriage, your relationship is under great protection. Second half of September, and this will come from your gains. So financially you're likely to do very well in the coming days, especially the second half of September is very promising. So you must look forward to this month. Continue to strengthen Mars, worship Lord Narasimha, or read a Hanuman Chalisa on a daily basis, or use a mantra for Moon, that is your Lagna Lord. Look up to him. Sun and Mercury will be forming a yuti, a conjunction in your 3rd house where Mercury is exalted and Sun does well in the 3rd house. So it is giving you a good transit moving from 2nd house to the 3rd house, which will ensure that any efforts you put, you are likely to have results with regards to these efforts, and there will be a mutual aspect with Saturn. Alright, so Saturn is your 7th lord making a transit in the 9th house, it's retrograde, so already it is bringing some difficulties in terms of dealing with relationship and of course heaviness, and for you to look back at your past transformations and learn from your past mistakes to move forward. Okay, This would indicate start of a journey, which means new assignments, new projects, new line of work. You can travel in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. You can go on journeys, or if not, you can go on a spiritual retreat, or a spiritual travel is something which I will highly recommend you over the course of next few weeks. And this is something which you must look forward to, because it will not only help you to channelize your energies, but also ensure that any efforts that you put, you would like to get results. See, in your communication, there is leadership potential and there is a sense of intelligence. Wisdom is also there. So make sure that you leverage this power. The only point is that Mars, who rules your 10th house and the 5th house, will be under dual aspects, two aspects of Jupiter and Rahu. So there's a good aspect and a not so good aspect, which could ensure some sort of disturbance at work and matters related to your future. All right. But if you continue to strengthen Jupiter here, this is where you will be able to channelize these energies and make some good work related decisions. So if you're looking forward to change, new work, new opportunities, there is certain obstruction that you could face. There are certain obstacles which you could face. So may you continue to strengthen Mars as well as Jupiter in the month of September. Leo ascendant signs, or the Leo moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. All right. Now, the month of September, which is a heavy month, because this month will signify endings as well as new beginnings. Total lunar eclipse on 7th of September, followed by a partial solar eclipse. So what you could expect? Your 7th house and 1st house, both these houses are involved here. Your 2nd house will also be involved here. All right. And your 8th house will also be involved. So 4 of these houses are involved, where of course the lunar eclipse calls for endings, matters related to partnership, relationship, businesses, something is coming to an end for a fresh start, fresh beginning. This beginning is related to yourself, your family and your finances. So definitely this energy of eclipses will give you a big financial boost in the coming weeks, or the power to make good, sound financial decisions, because you will have a restart, a reboot to probably leverage and plan your finances accordingly. All right. This is how you should read it. Sun in the first half will be in your ascendant, conjoined with Mercury. Mercury gains directional strength. Sun is the Karaka significator of the ascendant, and both of them are involved in the eclipse. Moon is also involved, Rahu is also involved. So of course you will feel this energy. Continue to worship Lord Surya, Surya Devata. Read or chant Aditya Hridayam, or use mantras related to Surya in order to channelize these energies. Second half of the month, Sun will enter your 2nd house, where it will join Mercury, who will be sitting in its exaltation sign. Mercury is your 2nd and the 11th lord. Sun is your Lagna lord, and both of them are forming a beautiful Dhan Yoga in your 2nd house. At the same time, Jupiter continues to be in your 11th house, who is the 5th lord. And Jupiter will be aspecting Mars, who is your 9th lord. So second half of the month, there are multiple financial yogas, Dhan yogas that are activated. Situation with regards to your financial well-being, financial acumen could improve significantly if your dasha antardasha is supportive. From a relationship standpoint, not the most ideal month, because you will have some issues. But from a financial growth and your personal growth, it looks like a promising month, right? Because of these energies that are there. Sun and Mercury will also be in opposition with Saturn. Saturn continues to make a retrograde transit in your 8th house, looking back at your 7th house, which wants you to focus on your relationship. Now this will be aspecting, having a very strong 7th aspect on Sun and Mercury, which will try to slow things down. Slow down your decision making process when it comes to family matters, when it comes to your diet, when it comes to your finances. This is for your own good, for your positive transformation, because see, Saturn, what it is trying to do is it is protecting you from any unforeseen event, from any sudden events in life, from setbacks. because we see setbacks from the 8th house. We see adversities from this house. Shani is also giving you a Viparita Yoga in transit because circumstances could go adverse and eventually you will rise. Venus will enter your Lagna again mid of September and it will be conjoined with Ketu. So you've been living in isolation, but momentarily there is some positivity, ray of hope that's coming. Venus, who signifies interaction, and your 10th lord making a yoga in the ascendant. Though it is under affliction with Ketu, you could have some issues with people at work. But you will cut these ties, you will move away from people, you will disconnect from people for your well-being, for your good. So if you've been trying to shift away from some toxic people, some not so good people at work, this is the time for you that you will be able to do that for your greater good. But personal relationships need to be dealt with utmost care in the month of September. You have to stay low-key, you have to avoid arguments, you have to avoid any unnecessary quarrels. Mars, who is a Yoga Karaka planet, 4th and the 9th lord in your case, the Bhagyesha and also your Sukhesha, is going to enter your 3rd house in Libra, and it will be under the aspect of Jupiter and also Rahu. And this is where you have to look at the positive aspect of Jupiter and try to put all your energy and attention in efforts. One thing is quite certain, that fortune will favor you if you put efforts. The significator of the 3rd house, Mars, and this is the planet that you have to look forward to in the month of September, along with Jupiter, these two planets. So if you do remedies related to Mars or Jupiter, you could have a great month, you could witness success, you could witness positive change, you will have an overflow of energy. You would want to consciously put more efforts. Now this is where Rahu will play a trickster in your case, because it will incline you towards, you put few efforts and you aim at getting bigger results, shortcuts, right, fast ways of doing things. So being fast paced is fine, but at the same time you need to ensure that you complete your work, because with pace you could develop inconsistencies, you could deviate from your path. Mars in your 3rd house, that represents your hands. Do anything related to your hands, work in the kitchen, exercise, lift weights, work in the gym, journal, and do that with utmost energy. Jupiter is making a very good transit in your 11th house. It will later enter your 12th house as well in October, but this is a forward-looking time period for you. Besides sensitive matters in relationship, I would expect you to personally do very well, professionally do very well, and in terms of interacting with other people, your social quotient is going to increase over the next few weeks. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening here is that the month of September is bringing big shifts, okay, because there will be a lunar eclipse, which is a total lunar eclipse, followed by a partial solar eclipse, where your Lagna lord Mercury will also be involved, Sun will be involved, Moon, Rahu, Ketu will be involved, alright, and this is happening in your 6-12 axis. So something is coming to an end that is related to your daily routine, your health and well-being. That needs to be the number one priority and keep it at check. But you are under great protection in the month of September, because by the virtue of 4 planets, that is Mercury, Sun, Jupiter and Saturn, who are making a transit in your quadrant houses, Kendra houses, will continue to ensure that your decision making will be right. It will have maturity, it will have wisdom, it will have the potential of working hard, and resources are going to be favorable. This is mostly applicable in the second half of the month, because this is when Mercury as well as Sun are entering your ascendant. First half, they still continue to be in the 12th house, making a conjunction with Ketu, which should increase your spiritual sadhana, spiritual practices. See, first 15 days is very crucial for you, because any spiritual practices that you adopt during this time, you are likely to develop a sense of consistency with regards to your spiritual routine. Second half is excellent for learning of any kinds, to making key decisions related to your work, related to yourself, related to your relationship, and related to your spirituality as well. Your expense will continue to increase in the month of September. But I always say, with increased expenditure, we do get a rise in our income. So there will be favorable circumstances for you to expect an increase in your income. Jupiter is going to regulate its pace. Making a transit in the 10th house is also one other significator. Of course, it would have caused some obstacles at work because he is also the Badakesh for you. But now is the time for you to look forward in terms of work related progress, in terms of business related progress as well. Your 11th house is under Shubh Yoga because there is Jupiter on one side in Gemini and there is Venus on the other side in Leo. This is mostly applicable in the second half of September. So gains are being promised in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. Now, on the concern for relationship, Venus will be under affliction, but this is happening in the 12th house. So again, continues to increase your spiritual quotient. The one planet who rules your second house, your family, your Dhan Bhav, your accumulation, and also the 9th house of Bhagya, fortune, has gone into the Vyaya Bhav, the house of expenditure, 12th house, the house of higher self-consciousness. Remember, Venus also gets exalted in Pisces, which is the natural 12th house. So the remedy for you to channelize Venus and Ketu energies in 12th house is to keep your feet clean. Go for a pedicure if you like. Ensure that you maintain hygiene and do not create any issues with regards to your feet or leg. This will ensure that you continue to strengthen and channelize the energies of the planet, which will work positively for you. So again, spiritually, the entire month of September is very good. If you focus on spiritual practices, you will navigate through any challenges pertaining to your relationship, pertaining to family matters. Watch your expenditure. You need a budget planning. You need an exercise that helps you plan for your finances. Because Mars is also making a transit in the second house. It will make you impulsive with regards to your finances. It could bring some aggressive energies in your speech as well. So you have to watch what you say, the words that you use. A lot of fire is there. So ensure that you keep yourself hydrated all through the time. Now, interestingly, Mars is under the aspect of Jupiter and also Rahu. Jupiter's aspect is very good. That is the 5th aspect of knowledge. Rahu's aspect is such that it wants to implement all the not so good things or do not so good things with regards to second house matters, which is your finances, dealing with your money, being very impulsive, investing without thinking, buying something without giving it a second thought. So make sure that you take care of your finances and you avoid any quarrels, any arguments with your family and with your friends as well, right? This time period, of course, friends could play a very important role in supporting your personal life. Some friends will definitely protect you, your wider social network as well. And while engaging on social media platforms, also be very careful of venting out your emotions. Be mindful of the fact and practice a sense of compassion. The planet that you must look forward to in the month of September is your Lagna Lord Mercury, because he will be in its exaltation sign, gaining directional strength. The best time for you for the year in terms of making career decisions, work related decisions, is the month of September, especially the second half, where you could definitely try for new opportunities, new business ventures, and new beginnings that are mostly related to yourself and towards your work. It is a forward-looking month for you, besides some minor hiccups, and may you look forward to it. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this monthly update from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So what is happening in the month of September? There are a number of changes. Your 5-11 axis, the 5th house and the 11th house, will also be involved in a total lunar eclipse followed by a partial solar eclipse where your 12th and the 6th house will also be involved. So you could be prepared with some massive changes, some big shifts that are happening in the month of September. So matters pertaining to your future, towards some creative projects, positional success, and all these things that are seen from the 5th house, something's coming to an end. Financial matters also be taken into consideration, and you might have to pay careful attention. But from a financial prosperity point of view, the month of September looks quite promising. Work progress and financial prosperity, this looks like an above average month for you. Now, if we talk about Venus, who would initially for the first half of the month make a transit in the 10th house. Venus is your lucky lord, lord of the ascendant, and he also rules the 8th house. So it plays a very important role in your case, and of course its transit matters. Now this time Venus will be under Shubh Yoga because there will be Jupiter in the 9th house and Mercury in your 11th house. So it is hemmed between two benefic planets, and this is a very auspicious yoga to have, which gives the particular house great strength and of course strength to the planet as well. So though your 10th house throughout the month of September will be under Shubh Yoga, because even when Venus moves in Leo, Jupiter and Venus will hem your 10th house, so it is under auspicious protection. So work related progress is guaranteed in case you are running through the right Dasha, Antardasha, Pratyanta Dasha, and if you for instance can strengthen, do remedies related to either Venus or Moon, who is your 10th lord, you can have work related progress by removing certain obstacles. So first half your decision making is positive because Venus is making a good transit. You could apply for new roles, you could look for new opportunities. Second half it will move to your 11th house where it will be conjoined with Ketu. So it is also under certain affliction. So you will not be very confident in making decisions during that time. But both Venus and Ketu are forming a Dhan Yoga in the 11th house because Ketu is your co-second lord. So it does well in the 11th house. Any planet making a transit or place in the 11th house does very well in terms of its result delivering capability. But from a relationship point of view, personal life, that is likely to have a hit. You could have quarrels, arguments, some sort of fight or a conflict with your friends, with your wider social network. Be careful while engaging with social platforms. Be careful because you could attract bigger enemies during this time and certain obstacles. So you have to stay low key in the second half of the month. But your work is under great protection. Now Mercury, who is another important planet for you because that's your 9th lord, the ruler of your fortune, your Bhagya, and also the 12th lord. Initially it will be in the 11th house along with Sun. So the first half you have fortune that is favoring you. 9th lord and 11th lord are making a yuti, a conjunction in the 11th house. So gains are favorable during this time. Second half Mercury will enter your 12th house where it is sitting in its exaltation sign. It is also creating a Viparita Yoga. Circumstances can go adverse. Eventually you will rise in this transit. And both Mercury and Sun will be in a mutual aspect with the retrograde Saturn. Saturn's aspect is very powerful when it's retrograde, the 7th aspect particularly, because it has high sense of desire during this time. So spiritually it is going to be very good. Your expenses will see a rise, so you have to avoid any impulsive decision for buying, and of course take care of your finances and do some sort of budget exercise. Any spiritual sadhana will be absolutely wonderful for you. You could use Vishnu mantra for your protection, for your better decision making, either a 6-syllable mantra that is Om Vishname Namah or a 12-syllable Dwadashakshari mantra that is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for getting the right guidance and your protection. Mars will be entering your ascendant, the energy powerhouse. There will be an overflow of energy in your ascendant because that's an air sign and Mars is a fiery planet. This Mars will be aspected by Jupiter making a very good transit in your 9th house and also Rahu making a transit in your 5th house. So your trines have these 3 planets. 2 of them are malefic. So your financial matters need attention. Decisions related to your future and your education need attention during the month of September. Jupiter's aspect is forward looking. It is protecting the significations, it is giving you the right knowledge, the right way to use your energy. That is what Jupiter is giving. But Rahu is giving you the kind of knowledge which is not so good, the wrongdoings of your energy. So you have to be very cautious with regards to dealing with your own energy. Decisions related to your physical body, your immunity, your vitality, make sure that you exercise, you eat right, and you have an active routine. This way you will be able to channelize these energies. Otherwise it could be detrimental towards your relationship. Make sure that you hydrate yourself, you drink enough water to channelize these fiery energies, and may you have a blessed month of September. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. The month of September 2025 is a month of big shift because we will see a total lunar eclipse followed by a partial solar eclipse, and this is where your 410 axis is going to be involved. So something related to your home, your safe space, your comfort space, and also matters related to your work, your profession, your job, your career. Something is coming to a closure for a new beginning. And if you've been looking forward to have an additional source of income, diversify your income, and increase in your income or new work opportunities, towards the end of September, there could be some good progress for you by the virtue of these energies of eclipses. But initially, this month will put you in a slightly uncomfortable position for greater good. Now you must remember the most important transit for you is the transit of Mars as well as Jupiter. So let's begin with your Lagna Lord Mars, who also becomes your 6th Lord. For the first 12 days, Mars is going to be in your 11th house. So one opportunity to fix any issues with regards to your material gains, financial gains. It would have led to some sort of quarrels, argument, or an aggressive behavior maybe towards friend or some sort of conflict with friends, but gradually it will make you more spiritual because Mars is now going to enter your 12th house mid of September, and this will increase your spiritual quotient. So may you continue to do a lot of spiritual sadhana. If you use a Dwadash Akshari mantra related to Lord Vishnu, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, you can gain maximum results of this transit. See, the powerhouse, the energy overflow is happening in the house of moksha, spirituality, your ability to give, your ability to donate. So please donate. You could donate things related to Venus, who is your 12th Lord. Donate sugar, donate yogurt, donate rice. I mean, any white things and also any sour things is something which you can donate graciously to the best of your capability. Whichever is in the best of your capacity, you can do that from a karmic standpoint. Now, good news is that your 9th house throughout the month of September is under Shubh Yoga. Because first half of the month, Jupiter will be in the 8th house, Mercury will be in the 10th house along with Sun. So it is hemmed between two of these benefics. Second half of the month, Venus moves in your 10th house, so it still continues to be hemmed between two benefic planets. So fortune is going to be favorable for you. In spite of having any difficult circumstances, you have some sort of blessing, some sort of protection with regards to your bhagya. So your dharma needs a lot of focus. You need to develop a sense of compassion, be kind and respectful towards others, and not be impulsive of your expenditure. Your expenditure, particularly if it is related to your married life associated with your spouse, that is going to increase. Your spouse could have some sort of financial challenge that can be seen from your chart, but of course it depends on their chart and time periods as well. Sun and Mercury initially will be in your 10th house, where Mercury is the significator, Sun gains directional strength, progressive time for work related matters, and second half of the month they will be forming a Bodhaditya Yoga in your 11th house in the sign of Virgo, where Mercury will be in its exaltation sign along with your 10th Lord Sun. So starting of a new income, rise of income, incentive, bonuses, these are some of the things which could be expected around later half of September or early October in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. but you have to continue to step out of your comfort zone. Things will not be easy because Sun and Mercury will be jointly and in a mutual aspect with a retrograde Saturn, who is already looking back at your 4th house, making a transit in the 5th house to ensure that you step out of your comfort zone. You look back at some decisions that you took with regards to your home matters, with regards to your family, your protection, and Saturn is going to bring a sense of slowness. You need to demonstrate plenty of patience, perseverance. That is the way forward. See, Mars will be jointly aspected by Jupiter and Rahu. So, Jupiter's aspect is very good, which will ensure you take the right decisions, which will ensure good spiritual practice. Rahu's aspect could ensure indulgence, could ensure extravagance, could ensure some illegitimate way of doing things, or probably your decisions could be weak. So, this is where you must continue to remedy Jupiter. See, good news is that your 5th Lord Jupiter making a transit in the 8th house will regulate its pace. It has been moving in an Atichara motion, in an unusually fast paced motion. Now it will regulate its pace and it will continue to bring good transformation with regards to the 8th house matters to overcome your weaknesses. And its transit on Mars is definitely bringing some wisdom in your decision making and matters related to your job and your daily effort. But your expenses are definitely going to increase. You will not have control over it. So, brace yourself for the ups and downs that you could see in the month of September. Continue to worship Lord Vishnu, look up to him, strengthen your moon, because moon is having a very good support in the month of September because your 9th house is under Shubh Yoga. That will have a direct impact on moon. One thing that is good for you is that you will strengthen your mind. From a mindfulness point of view, in terms of your mental capacity, you will be in a better position than you have been in the past, and may you have a blessed month of September. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this update from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Now, Sagittarius being another dual sign, one thing that is good in the month of September is your decision making, your fundamentals, because the pillars of your chart during transit have good strength. Saturn's in the 4th house, Jupiter is in the 7th house, and Sun and Mercury will enter your 10th house. So, at least from that point, your decisions are going to be right. You're going to be very mindful of things, from your comfort to your relationship to your work. All these 3 things you will be able to balance out very well in the month of September because of the virtue of these 4 planets making a transit in your quadrant houses. There is also total lunar eclipse followed by partial solar eclipse on 7th and 21st of September, where your 3-9 axis is involved and also your 4-10 axis will be involved, which will call for greater level changes in terms of your dharma, in terms of your efforts, in terms of change itself. This is the month of change, new beginnings, journeys. Journeys not only means that you will travel, but it could be start of a new line of work as well. You would definitely need some sort of guidance. If you get the right kind of guidance, you could make some good decisions for yourself in terms of your future. Your ascendant Lord Jupiter, who continues to be in the 7th house in transit in Gemini, will regulate its pace later in September, while it has been Atichara or a very fast paced Jupiter. So, this gives you greater sense of ownership with regards to owning and being accountable for your own decisions. And Jupiter will be aspecting Mars, who will make a transit in Libra, and Mars is your 5th Lord. So, it is good for financial matters, financial growth, and your decisions related to future. Mars is also your 12th Lord, so it will help you reduce your expenditure. But Mars will also be aspected by Rahu. So, it's a tricky situation for you, right? Because this will probably deviate or try to, cause some obstruction in your decision making when it comes to your future, when it comes to your children, when it comes to your higher consciousness. Your self-awareness has some obstruction in the month of September This is where you need guidance, you need some sort of direction or support. Now, second half of the month, Venus and Ketu will be in your 9th house. Venus is going to be under affliction, but Venus is the 6th and the 11th lord for you. So, if it is afflicted by Ketu, Ketu is your 12th lord. Spiritually, it is very good, but this will help you to overcome any opposition, any competition. When it comes to education related matters, it will not cause obstruction, but it will be progressive when it comes to competitive activities, when it comes to higher education. And this is something which you must look forward to. In case you don't have plans for formal higher education, this could be a very good time for you to enroll yourself in a mundane level course, something that gives you practical insights with regards to work. Because at the same time, Sun and Mercury will be making a Buddha-Aditya Yoga in your 10th house in the sign of Virgo, where Mercury is in its exaltation position in the 10th house. Now, Mercury also becomes the Badhakesh for you, or Lord of Obstacles. This is where you need to remedy Sun. The planet that you have to look forward to in the month of September is your 9th Lord Sun. Continue to strengthen Sun, continue to offer water or argha to Sun. You can add some yellow flowers into it or red flowers. It will make it even more auspicious or powerful for you. Use the mantra Om Grini Surya Aditya while offering water to the Sun. And this is where Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. Mercury is the significator. So, any learning that you take up which is with regards to your work, if it is directly impacted or related to your work, you will see success. The success will be slow. Since Saturn will be in a mutual aspect with both Sun as well as Mercury, which is putting a greater focus on the 4-10 axis, you could expect some sort of new beginnings with regards to your work, but there is a delayed phase that you can expect. There will be support from leadership, from authority. Second half of September, you should continue to focus on leveraging your intelligence, your communication and leadership potential to rise with authority. You could probably be authoritative to other people as well, but this is where you have to also demonstrate a sense of compassion and try to strike the right kind of balance between task as well as relationship. Continue to look forward to your Lagna Lord Jupiter. Do remedies related to Jupiter and related to Mars if you were to see a sense of balance as well as financial prosperity in life. This time period could have some minor health issues because your 6th Lord Venus will be under affliction with Ketu. So, make sure that you go for a routine regular health checkup, you keep your diet at check, you keep your lifestyle at check, because anything that could be detrimental towards your health and well-being will be directly related to your lifestyle. Worship Lord Shiva, use the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Sada Shivaya for you to get the right kind of direction, and may you have a blessed month. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. But from physical manifestation point of view, ascendant is most important. So, what is happening in September? Big shifts. Firstly, the total lunar eclipse on 7th of September is going to be occurring between your 2 and 8 axis. So, which means you could expect significant changes with regards to your financial plans, with regards to your position, with regards to your family, with regards to your money matters. So, that needs to be dealt with utmost care. New beginnings are related to your transformation and also related to dharma and your bhagya. So, you can have some good travel opportunities later in September, which could bring in a sense of progress. You could expect new beginnings because your 3-9 axis will be very active in the second half, which indicates start of a journey or going on travel. If not travel, this could also mark the beginning of new assignments, new projects. So, your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant continues to go retrograde in your 3rd house. Saturn in 3rd house always needs direction, some sort of guidance of a guru or a mentor. But this kind of retrograde transit now for you is playing a role that you will put less efforts and you will get the desired results. Because Mars at the same time is going to be making a transit in your 10th house, which is very supportive for all the work related matters. Though it is not the most ideal planet for you, it's the 4th lord and the 11th lord, but it gains directional strength in the 10th house, and this is when Saturn's making a retrograde transit in your 3rd house. So your energy would overflow. There will be an overload of energy at workplace, and this is something which you have to channelize. Sometimes you might want to keep some big ideas to yourself till you are very confident to implement these ideas. Mars will also be under 5th aspect of Jupiter, which is very auspicious, and also 9th aspect of Rahu, which is not very auspicious. So you have to be very careful with dealing with office politics, and you involved in these kind of discussions or environment or matters that could be of political in nature, that could also probably enhance a bit of toxic work environment. So this is something which you have to stay away from. You have to continue to ensure that you put your energy, you channelize your energy, and you use your wisdom to make better decisions. Avoid workplace conflict in the month of September and October. This is the big message for you. Otherwise, it could be detrimental towards your well-being. Now, Venus, which is the most important planet for you, he is your 5th lord and the 10th lord, the Yoga Karaka Graha Venus, initially making a transit in the 7th house, wherein it is the significator, it is the Karaka of the 7th house, and your 7th house is under Shubh Yoga. Because first half, there is Jupiter in the 6th house, there is Mercury in the 8th house. Both Venus and your 7th house are hemmed between these two benefics. So for work matters, for matters related to your future, your children, first 15 days are most important, most crucial, and most auspicious. Also with regards to new start of business, new relationships, any major decisions pertaining to your business, pertaining to those people who are opposite to you, and of course your external world of people, things and events, and how you deal with them, that is most important. But even in the second half, your 7th house is under good protection. So it's a very good month for married people, for your spouses. It's a very progressive month. It's a very good month in terms of financial prosperity, in terms of work related prosperity. Second half, you could have some issues with regards to relationship matters, with regards to your work, because Venus will enter the 8th house where it will be conjoined with Ketu and in a mutual aspect with Rahu. So Venus is under affliction. You could probably experience a sudden change in your work. Something comes, a new project comes, or you're given a task, you've never done it before. So expect new, unusual challenges which are unconventional in nature. So this is something which you can expect. Now this could be good for you as well. Now for those who learn Jyotish or probably trying to deep dive in occult sciences and Jyotish and astrology, it's a very promising time period for you, because both Venus and Ketu will give you very good knowledge with regards to Jyotish Shastra. So may you delve and dive deeper into this subject for your positive transformation. But this could bring in suddenness, this could bring some work related challenges, and this is where you have to again channelize your energies. The energy levels will still be very high. You will be determined at work, but you will foresee certain challenges in the meantime. Sun and Mercury initially will be in the 8th house, again first half supporting transformation. Second half, Sun and Mercury will enter your 9th house, and Mercury is the planet that you have to look forward to in the month of September, because he will be in its exaltation sign in the second half of the month, forming a beautiful Buddhaditya Yoga with Sun in your 9th house. So Bhagya is being supportive. In spite of you seeing any adversities, when fortune is supporting you, you can come out with in any difficult situation. Sun and Mercury will have a mutual aspect, so this does indicate start of a journey, new project, new assignment, travel opportunities. Look up to Mercury, use an Ashtakshari Vishnu mantra, that is Om Namo Narayanaya, in order to channelize these energies. Continue to strengthen Mercury in order to deal with all adversities that you might face over the course of next few weeks. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So firstly, September is the month of change, because we will have endings, new beginnings. There's a total lunar eclipse followed by a partial solar eclipse, which is affecting your ascendant and the 7th house. So you could expect new beginnings with regards to yourself, your relationships. Also your 2nd house and the 8th house will be involved. wherein your finances, your family and your transformation. So something is coming to an end which is too personal for you, which is emotional for you, right? So you have to let go of some things. You have to move away from attachment towards detachment, and of course you could have renewed opportunities to income and financial matters or gains over the course of next few weeks. But you're definitely going through big physical level changes, so be prepared for it, right? Time for little bit of a caution. Now, Rahu making a transit in your Lagna, sitting in the ascendant, while Mars making a transit in the 9th house, Jupiter making a transit in the 5th house. So, your trines have 3 planets. 2 of them are malefics. So, you have to do a lot of spiritual sadhana, because when trines have certain affliction and all the 3 are not very benefic planets for you besides Rahu, who becomes the co-ruler of the Lagna. But in Lagna, Rahu is not very auspicious. It is a weak position because here it loses direction. It gains direction strength in the 7th house. So Rahu anyway is losing direction. Okay. So this is where you have to continue to strengthen your Lagna Lord Saturn. You have to look up to him in order to ensure that you have a very disciplined and an organized life. And also the other planet you have to look forward to is Mercury, because he will be exalted in the month of September and you have to continue to strengthen Mercury as well. Jupiter will be aspecting Mars in the 9th house. Rahu will also be aspecting Mars in the 9th house. So your 9th house is under multiple aspects, positive as well as not so positive energies. So of course you can deviate from the path of righteousness, from your dharma. So the key message is stick to your dharma. See, Mars is also giving you a yoga, dharma karma yoga, because he's your 10th lord making a transit in the 9th house. Your 9th lord Venus initially will be in the 6th house, supporting job related matters, but later it will be in the 7th house, which promotes business partnerships. But this could cause some minor issues in relationship as well, because Venus will be conjoined with Ketu, which brings some separative tendencies or probably unnecessary sudden things or events when it comes to other people, quarrels, arguments, or probably if you increase your spiritual practice, spiritual sadhana, you will be able to channelize these energies. Saturn's key message while being retrograde in the 2nd house, he's looking back at your ascendant. The key message is continue to focus on self-transformation, self-healing and independent thinking without relying on other people, because this influence can turn out to be negative for you, the influence of other people. That could be bad. At the same time, Mercury and Sun in the 2nd half will be making a transit in your 8th house. So Mercury is giving you a Viparita Yoga. It is also your 5th lord exalted in the 8th house, along with 7th lord Sun making a transit in the 8th house. So you're seeking fulfillment in relationship after certain blockages. There is a Buddhaditya Yoga. Do research. Get involved in any research related subjects. If you study Jyotish, astrology, this could be an extremely favorable time period for you. See, your 6th house is under Shubh Yoga throughout the month of September, because first half Jupiter will be in the 5th house, Mercury will be in the 7th house. So your 6th house, which has Venus, will be under Shubh Yoga. Now 2nd half, Venus moves to the 7th house, so there are still 2 benefits that would hem the 6th house, which is protecting your health, your vitality, your well-being. So that is under great protection. So it is a month of good health, and when health is there, you can earn wealth, you can do anything that you want. By the virtue of your discipline, you will see a significant improvement in your health and in your lifestyle. Personal life needs attention. Stay low key, avoid any conflict, avoid any arguments. Continue to worship Lord Vishnu. Ashtakshari mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya, to help channelize the energies of Mercury as well as Sun that are making a transit in the 7th house and in a mutual aspect with Saturn. Financial decisions can take a backseat. You can hold on to making any major financial decisions, but to make a change in your diet, in terms of the food that you consume, what you eat, what you consume, this is a promising month that can bring positive change, that is forward looking, and that will help you plan for long term financial investments independently without the support of others. It is time for you to move towards independent thinking, independent decision making, and even having a judgment as well. As long as you trust your judgment, there is no looking back. Jupiter will gradually pick up or regulate the pace. Jupiter will regulate the pace. It is going extremely fast, but now it will slow down a bit. So your wisdom will be in place in terms of making decisions. And this is how you need to act in the month of September. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. September is a month of change. There are endings as well as new beginnings. Certain things that you could expect with regards to the two eclipses, the total lunar eclipse and a partial solar eclipse on 7th and 21st of September. This is impacting your 12-6 axis. So something is coming to an end for your protection. So you are safe from losses, from adversities. All negative matters related to 12th house are coming to a closure and end. And of course, you can look forward to new beginnings related to 6th house and 7th house, related to your daily routine, deaths, diseases, and of course, 7th house matters, which is relationship, partnership, marriage, and of course, things related to your personal relationship. That will be the number one priority. Now, something which is good for all the dual signs. Since there are 4 planets making a transit in the Kendra houses or quadrant houses. Saturn's in your Lagna, though Maran Karak, it is losing its significance. It's a death-like position, so you have to work a little bit more hard. But this Saturn momentarily is retrograde, so negative and negative becomes positive in astrology. Jupiter is there in your 4th house, your Lagna Lord, making a very nice transit. Now it will regulate the pace. It will give you good decision-making capability. Mercury and Sun will later make a transit in your 7th house. So, number of planets in Kendra houses do indicate that it's a progressive month. It's a month of confidence because you will take the right decisions. These are important planets for you. Both Saturn and Jupiter together rules your 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th houses. Mercury becomes the 4th and the 7th lord. Now here, Jupiter's transit, as it regulates its pace and of course slows down a bit from its Atichara motion, will give you a sense of confidence, will give you optimism in life, will help you move away from pessimism and of course look forward to new beginnings. Time to spend and of course look at decluttering your house and improving things at your home, and a lot of focus on your comfort level, your comfort zone. Continue to strengthen your ascendant lord Jupiter. Use a simple mantra Om Guruve Namah 12 times every day, and this way you will channelize the positive energies of all 12 houses in your chart. The other important planet for you is Mars, who will make the transit in 7th house initially for the first 12 days in its Maran Karak position, but later it is moving out of its Maran Karak position and entering your 8th house. So in 8th house, Mars is not the most auspicious planet because it's a natural malefic, but that's your 2nd lord and the 9th lord. So being the 9th lord in the 8th house, that's loss of bhagya. So you have to rely more on free will than waiting for things to happen. So you have to have a proactive approach. This month is not ideal for making any major financial decisions because Mars is in a weaker disposition. However, there is good support. Mars is going to give you transformation with energy. This Mars is being aspected by your Lagna Lord Jupiter and also by Rahu, who is making a transit in your 12th house. So there is a good aspect of Jupiter on Mars, which will ensure that your fortune is protected, your dharma, your religion is protected, and your financial well-being is being protected. So you could have some paperwork issues with regards to inheritance, with regards to joint properties, with regards to matters related to any adverse situation. Unnecessary paperwork is something that you will have to get involved in, so be prepared with it. You could attract suddenness in life. Sudden events can probably disrupt your daily routine, your daily life. So be prepared with regards to the fact that your pace of life is going to increase. Saturn has slowed down things while making a transit in the ascendant. Now you will see some pace of life. Mercury and Sun initially will be making a transit in the 6th house, where Sun is giving a Viparita Yoga. And Mercury being in the 6th house, it's your Bhadikesh. So it is helping you overcome obstacles. But in the second half of September, both Mercury and Sun will be in your 7th house in a mutual aspect with Saturn. Mercury in its exaltation sign, but in Marankarak position in the 7th house. Sun is again weak in the 7th house because that's the western direction. So somehow you have a lot of mix of energies with regards to yourself and your relationship. So that needs to be a check. Avoid any unnecessary quarrels, arguments. Though you will see that your partner or spouse can go out of the way to help you, to support you, make sure that you stay connected. You could momentarily have some ego issues, communication gap and coldness in your relationship, and that is something which you could very easily bridge, because Venus is also under certain affliction, who's the significator of relationship. Venus will be making a transit in your 6th house along with Ketu. So it is causing a minor affliction on Venus. Though Venus is not the most ideal planet for you, it will help you overcome obstacles. It will help you overcome adversities, because Venus is giving you a Viparita Yoga in transit. Being the 8th lord, it is falling in the 6th house and with Ketu. Ketu is your 9th lord, so it's a positive graha for you. And this will help you overcome and rise after adverse situation. Most importantly, your 5th house is under Shubh Yoga throughout the month of September. Initially, there is Jupiter in the 4th house and there is Mercury in the 6th house. So it is hem between two benefics with Venus making a transit there. So relationship matters are going to be good for the first half of the month. Second half, Venus will move in the 6th house where it is Marankarak, and Jupiter will be in the 4th house. So your 5th house is still under good protection, which means your future is secure. In spite of Saturn being Marankarak, Venus being Marankarak and Mercury being Marankarak, 3 of these planets are. So of course, your future is secure, so you can still do some future planning and think about some big goals that you want to achieve over the next few months. So friends, this was yet another unique and detailed video on energies with regards to the month of September and how it is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. I hope you like this video. Stay tuned for more such videos on our channel. Thank you very much. God bless you all.